Hey, Jim.
Your thoughts on Irv's start, and have you gotten any indication about your job status going forward? I know. Sorry to ask it, but I had to ask it.
It was a heck of a game, particularly the start. There's a lot of things that transpired there in the first few innings. I'm sure the pace of play was Commissioner Manfred's delight there. You know, it's just one of those things when you jump out front. It's a good feeling to know that you have a chance to play with the lead and you got your best pitcher out there. And you know, it was just kind of a struggle from the start, a little bit auspicious to walk the leadoff man after you score 3, and the Judge puts together a good at bat. And Gregorius gets a 3-2 pitch kind of in his wheelhouse, and all of a sudden everything you worked for at the top of the first has vanished. But you know, we hung in there for the first, got back to even at 4, and then they scored again. I don't think we put up a 0 till the 5th inning. So they're guys that were supposed to step up, stepped up. You know, I've been a big Gardner fan for a long time, and he kind of did his thing, a little bit of showing how to take a good at bat as well as being able to hit over the fence. And you know, I think Aaron, the splash he's made, game's in good hands with people like that. From what I've heard, and he definitely impacted the game. So as far as Irvin, just you know, missing spots, and you know, we had a pretty good plan. We just didn't execute it particularly well.
Ron,
can you describe your emotions and the people in the dugout around you as the top of the first unfolded and then the bottom of the first unfolded?
You know, you can sit here and try to imagine if it was 0-0 after first, what it would have felt like compared to scoring 3 and giving 3 back. It's the exhilaration of jumping out, you know, Brian's leadoff home run and Rosie, and then the deflation of giving it back so quickly. So there was a lot, you know, that a lot was spent early. I think you just understand that you got to find ways to persevere through a game like that, because there's a lot of pitches thrown, there's a lot of lead changes early, and you know, unfortunately, they got to their pen, and all those guys did an outstanding job. So there was a lot of, as far as you know, mood swings early. They were obvious just because of the way the pendulum swung.
to your right, Paul Tyler.
Yeah, Paul, you said you were a big Gardner fan. What is it that you like about his game, and how did he impact it tonight for the
You know, I'm watching him for several years before I got here as a coach or as a manager. I think he never takes a day on the field for granted. I think he knows his game. I think he understands that he's a leader in how he plays. You know, whether it's, you know, having a 10-pitch at bat or, you know, he just never gives an inch, you know. Like I said, he can dump one out in the left field with 2 strikes, or he can steal a base, or he can bunt and hit one, you know, hit a homer tonight, makes plays. He's just got a game that I think a little bit old school, and I think it fits the New York fans' profile, and that's the kind of guy you want to have out there.
To your right, Paul. Joe.
Paul, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but you had a plan against Severino, and you executed
Yes.
very well. What were you able to do?
Well,
against
we talked about pregame, you know, elite high-end ability, still young and experienced. We took advantage of our leadoff hitter who can hit a fastball and got a 3-1 count and deposited it. I don't know if that was unsettling to him or not, but you know, Polanco did a nice job laying off a tough 3-2 pitch, and then we get the homer. I mean, it's emotion for everybody. They had a lot of guys that were first time through, including Severino, and he's going to have a lot of good days. But there's a growing experience for the people that are a little short on tenure.
Second row, Andrew.
Paul, given your career and what you've seen, how would you describe what Aaron Judge has done this season?
Well, it's unprecedented, you know, just by the record that he set. You know, top 2, maybe 3 in the MVP race. You know, I'm impressed by how he plays. I think the adjustments that he's made, you know, pitches that he was chasing early, he's keeping the ball on the plate. He's just very intimidating to, you know, the size and the strength. There's just very small margin of error, and it's probably not, you know, nothing you guys haven't heard, but all I've heard about this guy he's the kind of guy that you want to have up front in our game. And so I tip my cap to him for that, for understanding of transition of stardom in our game, and I think we're in good hands with people like him.
To your left, Paul Roger.
Paul, it was a game that, because of the performance of the two starting pitchers, required a lot of tactics from both
Yeah.
managers. As Joe Girardi got the Yankees out of the spot you put
Yeah.
them in, how did you take in, or how do you appreciate the moves that he made?
Joe has proven for many years he knows what he's doing. He had weapons to try to, use in terms of having to get out of the first, and probably even at that point starting to plot a plan to get through the game. We had a chance to add on there in the first, and Green, I don't know, he struck out the first 3 hitters he faced, I believe, a couple to end the first and to start the second, and we knew once those doors opened up that it was going to be tough to score. I didn't really think it was going to be an 8-4 kind of game, but with what he can throw at you, made the right choices. He extended some guys probably past their comfort zone. They still performed. Robertson threw 50-plus pitches, I believe. So yeah, it was. He had them, he used them, and they were effective.
Anything else for Paul? We'll take one last one over here.
Molly Howes, Buxton, and was it a difficult decision to take him out at that point?
I didn't really have a choice. I was told after he had the at-bat, after the collision with the wall, that he was locked up on his swing, and when he tried to run, even though he got to second, he just physically wasn't going to be able to go. And so I didn't see him at that point. I was just told by the trainers that I need to make a change.
Well, congratulations on a terrific season, Paul. Thanks for everything.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks.